Woo!
Yes,
God, that
yeah.
song pumps
That
me
was
up
that
every
song
time.
is. I know, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
that's good.
Project G Force Season 2,
Woo!
Episode 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Número 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. We've lost a member.
Yeah.
Pour
So
one
it's-
out for homie.
It's a nice.
Pour out a seltzer water.
It was a nice funeral.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, there's only 3 of us today because one of our members, Miss Laura, has gone on
She's got a life.
to do. She'll be Master Laura, will she not? Is that what do you call somebody with a master's? What do you say?
Masturbator.
Oh,
Don't know.
really? Do they put that on the diploma?
They do.
I don't know. Oh,
They do. Little known fact.
because if you're you get a
Right.
your doctor, right?
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on people who are like
What is that
like
your
a
question?
PhD in philosophy, and then they want you to call them doctor. Like
Yeah,
if I
no.
have a heart attack,
Yeah,
so
you're gonna
it
go.
says, "Is there a doctor?" in
Yeah,
the house?
unless you can
I
save
don't
my
want-
life, you're not a doctor.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you exist if you're having a heart attack? Is what the philosopher would say.
But
Yes.
anyhow, yes, a PUD is a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a master's, you have a master's. You can put M.A. or M.E. or whatever.
Right.
But you have to
After
say
your-
masters. Masters.
Anyhow, Laura's getting her master's, so
Yes.
she's busy.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Too busy for
She's
us. Yeah.
constantly
Apparently,
busy. 18
education's like at a higher level than doing this podcast.
months. Anybody watching on video can see how surreptitiously Thomas just turned off his phone.
Yeah,
and
did you see
that
that? Yeah,
was
we're
really
still-
good. That was
I forgot.
good.
We're on the camera.
Yeah.
Because there was a ding,
Yep.
and then my phone went off. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
This
like
This is unveiling the
seamless.
curtain of us
That's
doing
right.
it. So
Yeah.
right.
Do not look behind the curtain.
Oh, no.
Oh, for those of you listening but not watching,
Oh, right.
he almost
Oh, it
picked his
doesn't
nose.
work.
This is really it's
Wow,
too much.
it's too much because I just mocked picking my nose,
Yeah.
and now people who are hearing can't. Wow.
Well, now you have to do both. Now you have to listen to it and watch it, so you
Yes.
get all of the nuances.
Nuances.
Because
Of
if
the
there's
comedy.
one thing Project G Force
Yes.
is known for, it's nuance.
Yes.
Yeah.
we're all about detail work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I guess we should talk about then the fact that if Laura is involved with this whole master's thing.
This whole getting an
For
education.
stupid education.
Oh god! I'm trying.
We're
to,
like the kids at the back of the class.
trying to improve myself and get tenure and all benefits. What does that do to the future of Project G Force?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is an existential crisis. We need a PhD in philosophy
Yeah.
here.
Wow.
Is there a philosophy doctor in the house? No. Never there when you need us.
My new glasses seem to think that maybe that's not. I feel like I'm more intellectually capable of answering that question.
Right, yes.
You're the only person I know that puts glasses on and doesn't look more educational.
Okay, we're back. That was weird. I think my computer's getting sick.
Oh, no.
This is going to be hard to sync up.
Is there a
It
doctor
really
of
is.
computers
Yes.
in the house?
So what do you just suggest, Matt? Do we start from scratch?
Oh, that was comedy
It was
gold in
good.
there,
We can-
guys.
Well, I'll try to make an edit.
All
We'll
right,
see what we
fine.
can do.
It's gonna be
If our
awful.
lips aren't moving exactly the same, it's because we had to do
Okay,
it.
let's do this. Okay, everybody just mouth for a while. There we go.
Then hopefully we can catch up. I can use somewhere in there to
Yeah.
pick up the edit.
We'll figure it out.
Now
Okay.
you guys literally have to listen to one version
Because
and watch
this
another
is-
version because
what
it's
a-
going to be radically different.
Yeah, this is just all over the place. Anyway, we were discussing the future of Project G Force because Laura will be involved with much of her education for a while.
Yeah.
So,
So we're going to do stuff like this.
yes.
And we're going to focus on some video stuff.
Which we
Have you guys ever? Yeah, we haven't done any videos
Yeah,
yet,
that's
but we will. We will. We got some up on our YouTube site.
Yes.
Have you guys ever considered doing a show with the three of us?
I did think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be awkward. I think it'd be, and I don't know if Laura might be sad, but is it out of the? Nora's completely out.
people watching will
Look
see
at that
my
frowning face. That
this
is-
is so exciting. You guys are finally getting to see my disapproval face.
Yes,
we've
that's
talked
right. You
about
haven't seen
for
this yet.
so long.
What-
Here it is, folks.
It's kind of constant.
yeah. It's slightly different from my all the time face, but
I won't rule it out entirely.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's better with the four of us for sure. It's something we have to
What would be the concept? What would be if we did the three of us and then added someone just for like a show?
Oh.
nope.
You guys aren't for that, eh? Like I'm totally for that. I'm like,
Nope.
yeah, just for the case of performing. You get to perform with somebody new too that you haven't performed with before. I don't know.
For the folks watching at home.
See, yeah, I'm totally for that. Like I just like to go up and like,
okay. Let's because the only problem with again, I'm not gonna poo poo anything because I don't want to limit any options.
yeah.
Right.
Leave the poo-pooing to me.
Nora's Captain Poo Poo.
You're the fence sitter.
Yeah. It's very hard, I find, to throw somebody into the mix to gel. Right?
Yeah, I mean they may not
After
gel. That's the
12
problem.
years, right?
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just simply discard Miss Laura because she's been.
I would never
evaluated.
discard her.
No, I
No.
know. But
No, I would say the only scenario I could see that happening is like we did a gig for a Christmas party once, or if somebody's saying, "Oh, we just need a quick 15 minutes something,"
yes.
or it's
Yeah.
a short thing, and people needed us to do something. If we literally had to save the world this time,
Yes.
then I could see us doing it without Laura. But I would be very hesitant to bring in another person. How would you feel if you were like, "Oh, I'm busy for the next year," and we're like, "That's fine. We're just going to bring in another person."
Yeah.
I mean, if my decision was to not do it, like because I couldn't, like it'd be interesting to see. I'd watch it.
Would you?
I would hate all of you forever. And
I
you
wouldn't
would
be- I-
dead to me.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Just so we all know where we stand.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just asking the questions. I don't
That's a
know if
good
I agree
question.
or disagree.
It is a good
but,
question.
But I do think the three of us could put on a hell of a show. Like just the three of us.
Yeah.
It would be tougher, but Nora's face.
Laura's going to listen to this episode. We're in no way
there's
saying
nothing-
he's not saying that we would put on a better show
show.
without Laura.
No, but what
you're
I'm saying
we
is
could,
what
we could pull it off.
We could do it with three of us. It's not the same. I know what you're saying. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the mechanics of the four of us, which
Because
makes it.
again, Laura's the if we do, and maybe it would be even.
I'm really just saying this to guilt her into doing the next show. That's really why I'm saying all this, because she's gonna watch and go, you know what? Maybe I should do it and skip school and drop out of
give
school.
myself an ulcer. No, we don't want that.
She's always the glue.
don't?
She's always the glue that holds the
Yeah.
the characters of Project G Force. I know. Because I mean, I would definitely like to perform on the show, but we have to think about that. Let's think. We'll think about it. We're not gonna say yes. We're not gonna say no. We're just gonna think about it, mull.
Be like a Project G-Force Lite, really, is what would
Oh.
happen. So
PGF Lite.
yes,
So we rebrand.
yeah. Well, we just it's like the idea is when you're a comedy troupe, you should be able to perform with like one last member, one more. Because when Christian left, we still performed on without him.
But then 3 is
Three's tough though. That's a tight show.
Yeah.
What are we, good game?
Nobody's good game.
Nobody's good game.
Nobody's good
No.
game.
No.
So
We're like mediocre game.
yeah.
Yeah, we're like nod to each other when
Nod,
we're walking through
yeah.
instead of saying good game, good game, good
Yes,
game.
it's
We're
like-
like, yeah.
Yeah, that was okay.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
it's all right. Well, lots of stuff to think about.
Yeah.
just throwing stuff out.
Is that one of your 5 questions today?
No, I was just asking the question. I
Five
mean,
questions.
you,
Oh, 5
asked-
questions,
you
sorry.
started
Now we're
asking
down to
what we would
3
do.
questions,
Oh, 3
and
questions.
These things are going to be 10 minutes long.
Yeah, that's true. That's okay.
I know where everybody
People-
stands now for sure. That has been like.
This was like a tribal council kind of thing. Woo! All right.
Well, you knew what Nora's answer was.
Yeah, I knew that would be, but you never know. I mean, she could have surprised me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
What? Just your thumps as they all fall over from shock. Like I said, if there's a quick little one-off mini show,
Yes.
if there's another
Yeah.
group that said, we need somebody to open, somebody to fill in, you know, I could
Yeah.
see that. But
We're
the
not
amount of-
openers. We're headliners.
The problem when you bring someone in is that they'll expect to be in the group after that, even
Exactly.
when Laura comes back.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
So that's the only thing. I'm just throwing it out. I don't
Yeah.
I don't want to do something with somebody else. I'm just
Yeah.
saying we could. What would you think of it? Yeah. 3 of us, I would go for that.
Okay.
But that's just me.
All right.
But
I'm not saying no.
No.
I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no. Nora's saying no.
no. Because it's just two of us then.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt Loop show.
So-
It'll be down just to me.
Because yes, we don't want to have any disrespect towards Miss Laura at all.
No.
No.
Lord.
No, she adds a lot to the group for sure.
No, for sure.
Absolutely.
It would
We're 4
not be
parts.
the same. It would not be the same.
No, it wouldn't be the same. It would literally not be the same because that person's not on the stage.
Literally
Literally.
not be the same.
Yeah, that's right.
So all we have to do is get her all the answers to all the questions and for all the essays.
think a master's is multiple choice.
Really? Because almost every schooling I've done has been multiple choice.
I did a multiple choice exam, half multiple choice yesterday.
Yeah.
It did not go well.
Oh,
No?
No, I hadn't had that feeling for a while, probably since high school. It's macroeconomics. I do not like macroeconomics. It did. I don't know.
Micro you like, but not the
Micro was okay.
Yeah, micro's good.
It wasn't bad.
It's smaller.
Yeah.
You don't have to do as much.
Macros just anyway.
So one of those ones where you go through and answer all the ones you're sure of, and you're like, well,
There's
that's
3.
12.
Yes, and that leads me into my question.
Like your official question?
my official question.
Official question.
Did you see?
You just segued into that. You
That's how you do a
son of
segue.
Oh, nice.
bitch.
Nicely done.
That's-
Question is, so last time you felt you were sort of like, or do you ever feel that you're like basically sort of just faking your way through something? You're kind of praying like, oh my God, I hope people don't find out I don't know what the fuck I'm actually doing.
Yeah, all the time.
Is that a thing? Okay, yeah.
I would say so. I'm trying to think of specific examples. Side note to kill time, one of my kids is sort of having difficulty because, like, just at a point now they're in a small school, they've all been in the same class forever, getting to the point where they realize just because you live near each other is not a great basis for a friendship, right?
True,
And they're starting to realize that they have
Yes.
different interests. And the one is just like, oh my God, all they talk about is boys, and it is so boring, and I can't even handle it. And I just had to say to her, sweetie, like, sometimes you just have to pretend to be interested in what people are talking about. I was like, I know this is not, this isn't a great life lesson, but it also kind of is,
Yes.
because this is a life skill you need
It's a skill.
to
It is.
just sort of try to find something that can get you through the conversation where somebody's just talking about, where they're just talking about boys that they think are cute all the time, and you just want to poke your eyes out with a fork. You have to
Yeah.
Go on, Nora.
fake it. Matt,
What you were
bastard.
saying is very fascinating.
It's a two-man show. Fine. Fuck both of you. Try to find 2 replacement people, assholes.
We are assholes.
But it's
That-
true. You
that's
do
true.
kind of have to
That-
fake it
yeah.
socially.
That is true.
Yeah, fairly often. You have to pretend. You have to be nice to a coworker who drives you nuts. You
Yes.
have to, pretend to be interested in what these classmates are talking about. There are a lot of times, but that's not the same as faking it. No, that's not the same as.
but there's something in that too where I find that people who are like even older, they stop giving a fucking rat's ass who anybody thinks about anything, and I think that's probably the more authentic way to live.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, because you can't. Because sometimes we try to be the person others people perceive us to be, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of work.
Yes.
Yeah, to oh God, okay, so I'm.
Like,
Everybody thinks I'm this guy, so now I got to put on.
Yeah.
You mean like my life?
Are there ever days where you're like, fuck, I just want to keep my pants on today?
Well, Matt, you certainly, as a radio personality,
Yeah.
you have to have a certain persona.
You've got to be on like
Oh my
all the
God.
Isn't
time.
that
Do
exhausting
people, do
sometimes,
people
though?
recognize you just
And
like,
then
in
like
the
and
store?
it's like sometimes even like out. I think like if I was walking through the mall the other day like at White Oaks and I'm like thinking like what if someone sees me and knows I have to like watch what I'm doing, like I get self-conscious a little bit, but I mean the percentage of people that would know me there's probably like 2. It's like, you know what I mean, like it's like
Except you were wearing your Loop Dog shirt.
So, I know I like to self-promote, but it's but social media is a perfect example of, right, like people making themselves look. I look at some people's accounts like, oh man, they look like they're always doing something cool, and then they probably aren't. Like they've gone once to somewhere, but it's like it's just you can put such a persona on on social.
Does it get exhausting to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because you feel like you have to be posting all the time, and you have to post on like Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter, and you got to do different things. And so every time I'm walking around, I'm looking for things to post. Like I'm like,
so
here's a picture I can take, and now they got like the stories on Instagram. Oh, this could be a story. This could be. So you're not even like living your
Oh my
life. You're
God.
just looking for. It's like you're a director looking for shots like all the time. That's like. And so it's a little bit. It can get a little crazy sometimes. Like,
Then how does the real Matt Loop ever come out?
well,
Do we
the real Matt
know?
Loop is the guy looking for shots. Like that is me, right? Like it's just. It's like
sometimes alcoholic and sometimes
Yes.
video. There you go.
Right.
Between those two, that's
Yeah.
the real Matt Loop.
Probably.
what you see is what you got.
WYSIWYG.
Well, I mean, you recently changed jobs too. I'm sure when you first start a job, you try and like, I know what I'm doing.
Absolutely. You know, no, I lean into, okay, so I just
Yes.
started in this role. So if we could go back and if you could just explain to me one more time. Yeah, that's me to a T. When I was
Really?
a waitress, I actually did that. I was like, oh, I just started. I'm having trouble with the corkscrew. And the couple were like, weren't we in like last week? And okay, probably. Yeah, because I've been using that story for quite a while
Yeah.
now. Yeah, so I lean into the newness. I don't.
Oh, really?
I don't fake any knowledge.
That's good.
Yeah, but then people tend to. But then I'm cultivating an image of kind of being. Not a moron, but you know, like, oh, poor dim-witted Nora. She'll catch on eventually. Yeah. So that's not necessarily a position of power that I'm putting myself into by being very like taking up as little space as possible and sort of,
Yes.
sorry, erasing
Yeah.
yourself. Sorry.
Don't do that.
No, I don't want to do that either.
No. I think it's just becoming, maybe it's becoming more difficult to live your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there are so many expectations that and then especially with social media where it's like, what's going on? I gotta make the people think everything's okay.
Let's see. I just try to make people laugh.
Yes.
With what I post.
I post, I think, twice a year now.
Is Thomas still alive?
Yeah, exactly.
Is he okay?
I don't know.
I know I don't really post a lot of like bad news stuff. Like there's people that post like a lot of political
Yes.
stuff and that, and I try to stay away from that. I just try
gets-
to post like goofy pictures of me doing stupid things or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
You got some good videos coming. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. You do a lot of good stuff, but I don't. I don't think I'm cultivating a particularly glamorous social media profile.
But you're still
I don't think
funny though.
anybody
You
looks
have-
at-
it's
you have
Yeah,
funny
it's
lines
funny,
and things.
but I don't
like-
think people look at my life and go, "Oh, I want a piece of that chicken fingers, eating it over the stove," kind of thing. Like nobody thinks
piece
I'm
of that chicken fingers.
living a glamorous life, to quote Sheila E.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what I've felt like a total fraud at. Parenting.
Okay.
Parenting for
For
real.
sure,
And
yes.
then when people say, "Oh, you're doing so well," I'm like,
If you only
I'm
knew.
really
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say parenting is a big one.
I agree with
Where
that
you're
one.
just
Yes. Yeah.
faking it
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
And then answering questions, you're like, okay, I think this is the best answer that I can give you right now. And then afterwards, you're like, oh no, that was totally the wrong advice. I shouldn't have said that at all.
I don't think there's a single parent in the world that really knows
Yeah.
what they're doing.
That's true.
Right?
I
Like
know.
it's like
And again,
if you can keep your kids alive and not be assholes, I think you've done your job.
Exactly.
That's like, oh, really? Is what it comes down to.
Exactly. But then when they do act like an asshole, you're like, I'm not even getting that right. Oh, there we go. Good for me. Alive. I've got one.
Yeah.
I
Check.
got one. But again, and then social media makes you feel like everybody else is doing it properly, right? Like there's one meme that came around that was like, I just Febrezed one of my kids and sent them at the door with like nachos for lunch. So no, I'm not interested in your chore chart, Linda. Which is true.
Yes.
Like enough with
Yeah.
I just found this worked for me.
Yeah.
Like, well,
Yeah.
that's great. So just keep it to yourself.
Fucking
Some of
Linda.
us are just trying to keep
No one
it
likes
Linda
to
should
us.
shut up.
Yes.
No one likes Linda.
No one likes Linda, except for real life Lindas that I know they're lovely.
Yeah.
But this fake
The-
amalgam that we name Linda,
The-
she's the worst.
The worst.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when do you feel like a fraud?
That's a very good.
Yeah.
I was about to say parenting too.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was saying I think I feel less fraudulent now than I have in the past. So
Mhm.
yeah, sometimes I still catch myself doing things because it's like if I don't do this, they're not gonna like me. That's been my whole.
Your kids? If you do it, you're not gonna like them?
No, like people
Oh.
in general.
Oh.
Right? Like, yeah. Like,
It's like-
like friends or things like that. Oh, if I don't do this for them, they're not going to like me, right? Which is, I think, a thing I've struggled with my whole life, right? So, but now, I think I'm getting past that whole thing. Yeah, I hope.
So you don't care if people like you. There you go. So you're like ahead of the game for when
I-
you're turning
well,
70 and you are, and then you don't care. Legit.
Get off my lawn.
Exactly. Interesting.
All right.
Did we get any funny sketch ideas out of that?
No, that was just very. I don't know.
Anger.
For the show we're not going to do, Nora.
I didn't say we're not going to do one. These are ideas that could catch on later on when we write our next show and Laura is back.
In 2 years?
That's the other thing.
Yes.
Do you know how fast that's going to go?
2 years?
Yeah.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
How long did we go in between Music Moron episode? It's like, Jesus. 18 months is going to be, or 2 years, is it full 2 years?
I don't know.
Anyhow,
Is
it's
it
going to
good?
go incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Like, we will go back and listen to this episode and
Yeah.
say, didn't we just record that 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So it stretches before us right now.
Will the squadron be too long in the tooth by then?
That'll be when I'm in my
Exactly.
new comedy troupe with someone that kind of looks like you, and someone that kind of looks like Thomas,
Exactly.
and someone that kind of looks like Laura. This is my new comedy troupe. There's a sketch idea there. That is funny.
It's Noreen
Yeah.
and Timmy
Exactly.
and Leanne. Yes.
But
Project
then
H
it's-
Force.
Then it's still Laura because we never got her name right to begin with.
Man, I was in Project G Force. I've never met you before.
All right, boom, there's a sketch.
Yeah.
Just like that.
All right, we pulled it out of the fire.
Okay.
Good for us.
All right. That was a long question.
That's all right.
All right.
We're fascinating.
We
People
are.
will listen to the whole thing. Was it really long, or was it 10 minutes of starting and stopping?
Well,
and
we did have a
recording
couple of
again?
breaks,
You
yeah.
know,
Well, you never know.
you never
That's
know.
how our podcasts go.
Well, if you couldn't be doing your job and doing
Yes.
it well and perhaps being thought of as a fraud, what would be your dream job that you could do?
Oh, was that your question?
It is.
Wow.
That was not as good a segue.
Dream job.
Like pie in the sky, anything.
You-
Anything.
You know what I would really like to do? I don't have the voice. I would like to. I would do it. Enjoy doing like voice work for like cartoons and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would enjoy doing that.
You could do that. Why do you think you don't have the voice for it?
I don't know, because I'm Captain Mumbles.
That's true, but that could be the character. German Captain Mumbles.
That would be. I think that would be a fun job.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
then if you got a disgusting
We talked about
plucked
yeah.
duct,
Yes,
then you wouldn't be able to do that. You'd
No.
have to take some time off.
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Or Batman.
Right.
Although he gets his ass kicked a lot too, right? And I'm not so much with the. I would enjoy the punching of the other people, but not so much taking of the punches.
You like the
Yeah.
Batcave portion.
and the car and
Yeah.
the Batmobile would be good.
Yeah.
Now, would you say Batman because he is like a mere mortal? Like, are you thinking you couldn't be Thor? Because let's all agree that Thor is the best.
No,
of
Superman
all of
is the
them.
best. Superman is the best one.
No.
My face.
no.
No, Thor is
No.
Thor.
No. All right.
He really thinks that. Okay, he's
So maybe I
Okay, in the-
screw it.
in the,
Superman. That's what I want to be. Superman.
okay.
Superman.
in the Marvel
The Marvel universe?
Thor is the
Yeah.
best.
Maybe Captain Marvel's the best. I don't know. We haven't seen her. I don't. What she's got good powers, doesn't she? Doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah. She hasn't had her movie yet though. So I don't know her. But Thor. Okay. Thor's pretty good.
Okay, so you weren't being limited by having to be a human person in terms of what you were choosing.
Yeah. It's just Batman's. He's definitely cooler than Superman, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Anyway, that's off top. But yes, in terms of an actual job, voiceover work would be good.
Other than a millionaire
Yeah.
with a award and
Yeah. And a yacht.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. And Matthew Charles Loop the third.
probably like on Saturday Night Live or something. I always wanted to be on.
That
Like,
would be good too. Yeah.
I just like
Oh.
it's out of my league, but it would be something that would be cool to be on.
that would be good too.
Like, well, I'd want to be one of those cast members that have been on for like 30 seasons. And
Keenan?
yeah,
Yeah.
Keenan Thompson, and they haven't been able to get rid of me. And I just do a lot of those big eye rolls or whatever. Like, they always cut to me for reaction shots during the sketches, and that's basically all I do.
I've had a reoccurring dream of actually being on that show several times.
Yeah.
But that, yeah.
Ooh.
But
I've had a dream before of
it's
being on there.
It's
too.
cool. Yeah. That would be a good job too. Yeah.
It would be.
I've had a dream of being at the taping, not being on the show.
Come on. Oh.
Oh,
Maybe she was watching us on
Nora. That's so
Because we kicked her out and we
sad.
started up our own troupe.
Yeah.
You guys,
What?
this is getting a little too real.
But what you
Oh
Nora?
my god! Well, what did you guys want to be when you were little? Same thing.
No, I wanted
Did
to
you
drive a
want-
train.
Interesting.
That's all I wanted to do was drive a train.
Interesting. And do you still like trains?
I do like trains, yeah. But yeah, I don't have a train set.
No, but
No.
you can come over and play with Sam's.
That's right. Sam's what?
Caboose.
Yeah. And what did you want to be when you were little?
I don't know. At one point, I wanted to be a cop. At one point, but then
Your dad a cop?
yeah, and then I was looking through some of his books. I found the autopsy book,
Oh.
but I didn't know what an autopsy was.
Yeah.
And I opened it up, and the first picture is like this person split open, and I'm like, I am not being a cop. That's it. I was done.
no.
I was like, because I then I assumed that's all they did. So I didn't like do autopsy. I didn't realize there's someone actually that does autopsies, but I just because you're younger, so I was like,
Yeah, really.
no way am I being a cop.
But there is somebody that wants to do
Yeah.
that job, autopsies, right? That's
Isn't
a
that
like,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I thought. We
You ever
just
think someone like
directed
that's a little
traffic.
twisted, like a little bit, like,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
someone's got to do it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. I would want to be a. Again, why are my dreams not bigger? I want to be a backup singer.
A backup. There's nothing wrong with being a backup singer.
But why not be a lead singer? If I'm dreaming big, if this is my biggest dream, I want to go to a taping
You
of
can add
SNL.
anything.
I want to watch you guys on SNL, and then I want to be a backup singer.
But see, then you could be the backup singer. Then you can go on The Voice to
That's
break
true.
out, and
That's
then you
true.
can suddenly win The Voice.
But
And
why
then
not?
I could
So
be the
just make your
musical
dream
guest,
bigger.
and then I could be the musical guest on SNL. Oh
There
my
you go.
God, it's all
all
coming
came together.
Isn't that weird? Like, because when I thought of this question, I was like, backup.
So I'm a
singer.
genie. I can
Yes.
grant you anything you want. Like I want to be a backup singer.
I want to be the guitar
Sheena
player
E.
No, I
for Sheena
specifically-
Easton.
No, I want to be like a backup singer that has like choreographed moves, like the Pips, or something like that. Like, yeah, that's what I want to be, isn't it?
It's
Oh,
funny how you just
man.
like, you could have gone that extra level.
Yeah, and it didn't occur to me at all.
There's nothing wrong with being
So
the backup
even in
singer.
my biggest dreams, I don't want that much pressure. I want
just-
some
it's
pressure,
okay.
some responsibility,
Responsibility,
but
but-
not all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Huh.
Yeah.
That's saying what
That's
about me?
it's a. See, this is what we need: a psychology.
Yes, is
PhD
there a
doctor.
doctor in the
Yeah,
house
yeah.
who
Yeah.
can just unwrap that little mystery there? Wow. And when I was little, I wanted to be a teacher. Or a journalist, because that's the job I kept getting every time we played Game of Life.
Oh,
and
really?
so I really thought the universe was telling me that I needed to be a journalist. Yeah.
That's the worst job in the game of life, isn't it?
Oh, I
worst-
think there were worse
Worst
than
paying,
that.
isn't it? Wasn't the worst paying one?
I don't know.
All right.
I can remember. I remember us having 2 or 3 cars full of kids.
Yeah,
sitting
exactly.
around.
The little pegs, and they keep falling out.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
Back in our day, there used to be one square in the game of life that says you committed suicide. Yeah, and you were
That
out
was
of-
in the game.
Yeah, and you were out of the game. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You find that.
Really?
You find that. I gotta see. It's probably on the internet somewhere.
Oh,
We'll look it up after.
Man.
Yeah.
And then just the game's over.
Yeah,
You
you
just
start-
have to sit and watch everybody else finish.
Sorry,
Their
you just off yourself.
cars
Yeah.
full of pegs.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my
also back when your
God.
parents let you sleep in the back window of the car. So it's
Yeah,
like, that's like there's no
exactly.
safety issues.
That's
No
true,
one
yeah.
cared about
We know
anybody
better,
else's
so we
mental
do
health.
better.
Like,
Yeah.
Recently played Clue with the boys, and I told
Yeah.
them when I couldn't play that game as a kid. It was just too scary.
Well, we played the Golden Girls version where somebody ate the last piece of cheesecake,
Oh,
so it's a
that's
lot
better.
less
Oh, yeah.
scary. Yeah. Somebody
would
was
be
on the
more-
lanai. I think it was Stanley on the lanai with Blanche's fuzzy slipper or something. Yeah.
That's good.
But that doesn't make sense. Why would you eat the cheesecake with a fuzzy slipper? I didn't read too much into the,
the actual.
yeah,
All
but
right.
there you go. How did you play the game Mastermind? Quick aside there.
Yes. How do you play it?
Yeah.
You have to. That's the one where you have different colored pegs.
Yes.
And you set up a code on the one side, and then the other person has to guess the code the colored code of pegs.
it's kind of like Battleship almost. Well, no, Battleship you have to try to sync. Yeah, you have to find.
So you pick like whatever 5 colors, and you go yellow, blue, red, and then if they're right, you put a peg saying that's the right space, whether it's the right space,
Yes,
right
yes,
color,
yes,
or right
yes,
color, right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
yes.
that.
Yeah. So there's different.
Did you
pegs.
see that on Twitter that the couple that was on the front of it reunited and posed for the picture again?
Oh no.
Yeah, like 30, 40 years later, I guess,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, anyhow, that's what made me think of it while we're talking about games.
Okay.
Segue into that bit.
Did you always want to be a model for a 70s game?
That's your question? Oh my God.
That's Nora's goal. I want to
Wow.
be the person in the background behind the person posing.
I want to be the person who takes that photo.
I want to be one of the people in the Guess Who game that they
oh my
guess.
God. What is wrong with me?
Well, we don't have time for that part of the
podcast. That's a whole
podcast.
podcast unto itself.
All right.
Matt Lou?
My question has no. I'm not going to do any segues for it. It's just a simple question.
What if you wrote a segue in here?
That would be good.
Then I could segue. I could ride the segue in and then deliver the
And just
question.
yell the question as you zoom by. And then run the ball.
My question is to you because
Yes.
everyone's experienced it. What's the worst thing about restaurants that you hate? Like for service or something that just drives you nuts when you go to a restaurant.
Oh.
I'll give you mine. Mine
Okay.
is when you've had a great meal.
Yes.
Everything's been going fine.
Yeah.
And then you got to wait for them to bring the stupid machine so you can pay. And it takes forever to bring it. And I noticed that a lot lately where they've been going and it's just like, you're like, okay, I'm done the meal. Everything. And the service was like, bang, 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 top notch. As soon as you have to pay, no one shows up. And then all of a sudden, no one's in the restaurant. No one's around. I'm like, where's our
Conversations
waitress?
sort of naturally come to a close, and then you're
Yeah,
all just
it's like-
shifting around. And
Yeah, that
checking
is
your
a bad one. I
phones
see
and-
that. Yeah. I would agree. That's pretty bad. I that is a thing.
Yeah.
Especially when you have younger children, you just want to get the fuck out of there. Yes.
You got to make the move.
Yes.
Just we need to go now.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to pay now.
Yes,
Yes.
you need to pick up on my sign
Yes.
that these children are not going to last much longer,
Yeah.
and we need to go.
I don't like the check-in when you're eating chicken wings and you're got a mouthful of food.
How's that going?
Well, at least the ones that most of them just again do a drive-by. There's like, how is everything? But
Yeah.
if they actually stop and they want to engage with you and see how it is, and
Yeah.
you're just like, because even if you did want something, you can't say anything at that point.
Yes.
Yeah. We had the overly friendly
Too much?
woman at the wings place one time.
Oh, yeah. She was like,
taking liberties. Like we were being
Oh,
funny and
right.
everything, but then she was kind of like being cutting and stuff. And it's like, no, we're not there.
No.
We don't
We're
know you.
not
Like
there.
we don't know you well enough for you to be making like sort of snarky comments
that's
to
true.
us.
Yeah.
She crossed a line.
Yeah.
Crossed a line.
but still a good fourth member of the group. But
Yes.
go on, yes.
And
and the snarky waitress.
That's the only role she plays through the whole show.
Yeah.
There was a trend at one point where the waiters would like come and sit with you at some of the restaurants. Remember that?
What?
Like do you remember? I remember going to some
No.
restaurants and they'd sit down at your table and they'd write their name on it and they'd tell they
Oh,
start.
Well,
Like,
it started
it was
with the whole name writing.
yeah,
thing
and it
in
was
the
like
paper,
they're all
yeah.
trying to be. I think it was a trend for a little bit where they're all trying to be your friend, like like buddy with you and stuff. But I think that's sort of like I think they realized they had better things to do, like serve the other tables.
Yeah,
And they
exactly.
didn't have the time anymore to do that. But
Interesting. Yeah, the whole writing your name upside down, like that's a skill they have to learn, right? They have to write their name upside down on the paper. Although the paper
Yeah.
with small children does save
it
your
does let
bacon.
it does.
Often,
Yeah.
Right? Or if you are married to someone like my husband, it keeps him entertained for a long time as
Yeah.
well, drawing.
yeah, I used to draw
drawing
Jack
penises
Afters.
and draw a lot of poop.
Oh, nice.
And the kids will draw something, and then he'll draw stink lines or poop or something on their pictures, or blacking out teeth and drawing cigarettes. He does that with magazines a lot as well. Or whatever, if you leave a magazine lying around, then all of a sudden the person is
old
smoking.
school.
Yeah, and some glasses, and
Wow.
and keeps us all entertained for hours.
I used to hate when you had kids, and I know you're probably going through this, but when they order and they bring their food earlier than your food.
Yes.
And I'm like, why are you bringing it so early? So then they eat it, and
Yeah, and they're
then
just
then you're
staring at
like,
you.
then you get your meal, and they're done, and
Yeah.
then you got to entertain them while trying to eat your meal.
Yeah.
That used to drive me
Bringing
nuts.
their drinks super early as well. You're like, that's not really helping the situation because they're going to finish this drink and then have to go pee, and then
Yeah.
it's a whole.
The best ones ask you.
Yes.
The best
yes.
ones. I keep on asking you. Okay, their meal comes with like sugar cubes
Yes.
and sprinkles.
Yeah, exactly.
Do
Do you want
you want
that
that
or
or no?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want that. Would you like the
Yes.
apple slices? Yes, bring the apple slices. Okay, there's only- those people get a better tip.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and the ones who do ask, do you want this right away? Is
Yes.
everybody starving?
Yeah.
You know, like who get a sense of it. But you're right; they would think they were doing you a favor, but then they're done and climbing all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kids are the worst.
they are.
They
I told
are.
us about that. I posted about it. That woman who asked Sam and I out for a lovely dinner, and then she asked if we wanted separate checks. That was so weird. Like
is
we both
weird.
looked at each other after, like, what kind of vibe are we giving off?
That they think that you.
That she thinks we're just
Yeah.
colleagues or something. You know, like it's down on
Work
business
friends.
and need to separate checks.
Yeah.
It was very weird. And that happened to us once with our children with us as well, which was super weird.
They asked for separate checks.
They said, do you want separate checks? And it was the two of us and our 3 children. And they said, did you guys want separate checks or is it all on one bill?
Yeah, the kids are going to pay by
No,
themselves.
but again, that we would look like we were
Yeah.
1 and 1 and 2 over here or something.
That's weird.
It is weird.
It was really strange.
Yeah.
But I guess it's safer. Like Sam said, they're probably just all trained to not make any assumptions
Right.
ever.
Who is
Because there
the-
could
Yeah,
even
they
be couples. There could even be couples who are like,
Yeah.
our finances are completely separate.
Yeah,
So,
they could have had someone
Yeah.
just that they did the opposite to, and then they had to
Exactly.
split it, and then they probably like, I'm not doing that again. And then you guys
Exactly.
walked in
But still. I
looking
would
like
say
you didn't
the
know each
thing
other.
that is worrisome for me when I go to restaurants is sometimes I just remember the sheer number of cockroaches that you encounter after working in a restaurant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you just try not to think about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever worked in a restaurant like behind the scenes? Like it's just like
Like I was a server. I wasn't even in the kitchen, but it's yeah, there was a lot of
Stuff.
roaches.
Yeah.
just a lot of weird issues. But
So let's go get a meal after this show.
Yeah, you just got to put it out of your mind.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Everything's
And
fine.
once there was a fingernail
Ew!
in our
That's
nachos.
That's the. Oh no! That's like my nightmare. Or like a Band-Aid would be the worst.
Yeah. I told you about that. That happened one time.
No.
Sam. No, somebody made us a meatloaf.
Yeah.
And he was eating it, and then he was like, and then it was a
Oh. Oh.
And we probably didn't have meatloaf for, I'm not exaggerating, probably 15 years. Until we finally, I was like, okay, I'm going to make
I think we
meatloaf,
have-
and I promise you, look at my hands. There are no Band-Aids anywhere near here.
We.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Well,
All
on
right,
that
it
note, I
was
think
bad.
we should end the podcast
Yeah, that's-
because that's the worst. The worst, Nora.
No, you're making me sound bad. Thomas told us a story beforehand where I literally thought I was going to throw up. It's
a great story.
It was disgusting.
and I was like,
It
actually, I was really into it.
disgusting.
Stay tuned for next week's episode.
Uh,
Self-surgery.
no, that'll be a 2-person podcast for sure. I will be out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
All
hey,
right.
so can I say,
Yeah.
God, you guys were going to wrap it up.
No,
I would
go
be
ahead.
open to a 4th person joining us for podcasts.
Oh yes, that
Yeah,
we should
that's
definitely
for
do,
sure.
We
because
can
Yeah.
we
totally
have-
do that.
because we have another mic.
Yes, you're like, yeah.
And he's right over here.
Hey, Mike, it's only people named Mike. There you go.
Nice.
That's the concept.
All right, so join us next time for us and Mike,
4th Mike.
and Mike.
and yeah, we'll have a good time.
Bye.
Bye.